YouTube? Welcome to my video. Today we are going to be starting reading a new book. My Instagram followers, limit 8 followers, and TikTok followers picked what my new book was going to be. So with further ado, we are starting Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. I'm excited. This book got the most votes from everyone. The second book that had the most votes was Curvy Girl Summer and Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen, and then the third amount of votes was For Real by Kennedy Ryan. So we're gonna get, that's how we're gonna read in that order. So the next few videos will be about Only for the Week, and then after that we're gonna go into Curvy Girl Summer, Plus Size Player, and then into Real, and then I'm probably gonna switch it up. After those 4 books, I'm probably gonna switch it up from romance, and then because I just got a S.A. Cosby book as well, All the Sinners Bleed. I saw somewhere on TikTok where they said, like, if you really enjoyed the movie Sinners, you should read this book. So I'm gonna definitely give that a read. So let's finally get into Only for the Week. All right, I decided to just read chapters 1 and 2 for now, and then tomorrow I'm gonna pick up when I wake up. But I even got notes to make sure I keep on track of my thoughts. These first 2 chapters were like packed. Like, I feel like the books I've been reading like before this are like slow burns. This don't give slow burn at all. So the characters that I've met so far in the book is Janelle. Of course, Janelle seems to be the main character. We met Amiri, which is her sister, Arnold, which is her ex-boyfriend and her sister's fiance. Mess. Evie, Danny, Christian, Micah, and Rome, who is clearly the potential new man. Okay, so the first 2 chapters were good. Like, they really get into it right away. So Janelle's sister is marrying her ex, which is Amiri and Arnold. So I was like, this is messy. Marrying your sister's man is crazy. And then it gets into them being from Baltimore. So hopefully this gets a little ghetto, because everybody, I'm from PG County, so I'm in Maryland, so Baltimore is not too far from me. So I'm like, hopefully this get a little ghetto. The sister's wedding is in Tulum, which I want to go there someday. That is, I have added that to one of my places I want to travel to. And because they are from Baltimore, I feel like I'm reading this in an accent. What was next? Oh, also Amiri. So Amiri is clearly the villain in the book. Well, to me, she is coming off as the villain, because one, how you gonna be marrying your sister's ex, and then on top of that be a bridezilla? You already did one wrong. You already then got engaged to your sister ex-man. Granted, Janelle is very much over Arnold. She was like, it was no spark at all when they were together. So like, I get it, but like, still, why you have to fall in love with my sister would be my main question. And then also my sister's being an ass and she's being a bridezilla, and like, girl, no, you need to calm it down, because you already marrying an ex. But she was bridezillaing it up. All right, what was next? Rome enters the picture towards the end of chapter 1. They all meet at the airport or whatever, but Rome be asking all the correct questions. Let me see. He asked Janelle, do you make it a habit to sacrifice things that make you happy for others' comfort? I said, oh, because the whole first chapter was given, I'm doing this for my sister, I'm doing this for such and such, I'm doing this for da 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 da. So like, he already tapped in. He already tapped in on Janelle, even though, oh, Rome is also the best man of Arnold, who is also Janelle's ex, but Janelle and Rome didn't really interact that much while she was dating Arnold. Boom, there we go there. And then we get into so chapter 1 was Janelle's perspective, chapter 2 was Rome's perspective, and I like how the same stuff happened, but they both had different perspectives of it. So in Janelle's perspective in chapter 1, her perspective of Rome is that, oh, maybe he don't like me because he always seemed to avoid me when I was dating Arnold. Like, he seemed to always leave before I could show up, or he seemed to always conveniently not be available for game night when they was doing their game nights, and then he conveniently moved to California before her and Arnold ended up breaking up. So she's like, maybe this man don't like me, or is just very standoffish with me. Rome's perspective, we get to chapter 2, Rome is like, no, I felt the spark and I just didn't think it was okay for me to be around because I couldn't keep my eyes off of Janelle. And I'm like, yes, we already starting. Like, usually in the books I've been reading, that we don't really get there until about chapter 20. And we at chapter 2 already. So I'm actually feeling this. And then, so I also wrote down some random thoughts I had. I was like, is this really only going to be for a week? Because the whole premise is they're there a week before the wedding start. And I'm assuming they're supposed to just do this fling for a week. And then after that, forget about it. But it's not giving that whatsoever. I also have a feeling that Rome and Arnold are not going to be friends after this wedding, because in Rome's chapter he was like, why is Arnold, well, I don't know what he called his friend, but he kept saying like, why is he doing this, why he treating his fiance like that? Because they was like at dinner and it was like a table, it was too many seats for everybody, but it was like 2 heads of the table and then like seats on each side of the table for like the bridal party to sit. And Arnold was sitting at the head of the table, but his fiance wasn't sitting at the other end of the head of the table. So he's like, why is he doing, like, he just criticizing his friend up and down. So I have a feeling they're not gonna be as close as they were by the end of this book. Okay, Amiri also seems jealous of Janelle. I wonder if we're gonna get into the book, because I mean, I get it, like, it's her like wedding and like they're there a week early for them to relax before the wedding, but she seems like if we're not talking about her, she has to bring it back to her some way, somehow. Like that whole thing about the bouquet at the dinner table, that was very, very unnecessary and not needed. And like I feel like you kind of pissed off your sister on purpose, and for what? You saw that she was communicating with everybody. That's kind of weird. And nobody was talking about you. Very weird. And then at the end of chapter 2, Janelle and Rome is already kissing. I'm like, see, it never happens this fast. I'm gonna have to tell my friends about this book, because they do not like slow burns. This one right here, I think they are like this. They are definitely like this. But I'm gonna go to bed and then start reading again tomorrow, and we're gonna see how many chapters I get through tomorrow. So I just did the first 2 chapters just to get a little understanding of where we're at in this book, and then we'll resume tomorrow. All right, we're back with a chapter update. I have read, let's see, go through my notes, because these chapters I just read, I read chapters 3 to 6. So when I start reading again, I'm on chapter 7. But these 3 chapters, so good, so good. Who is texting me? So good. I was like, oh, she didn't lock me in. This is how you do it. Maybe I've been missing out reading the slow burns, but this book right here, so good. So we just gonna go right down my notes. These are all my notes from chapter 3 to 6, all of those. So the first thing I put was Janelle is overly going for Rome. She trying to deny it, but she is definitely overgoing. Jerome has, I call him Jerome. Rome has been overly going for Janelle since the beginning. He been stated how he was going about Janelle. Now Janelle is finally not even on the same page because she's still trying to deny it, but she is very much overly going for, now let me stop calling him Jerome, Rome. The next thing I put was one night, yeah, right, because she tried to say this only going, because before it started off as a week, she said, yeah, this is only a one-time thing. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Then I was like, Janelle trying to deny that she's into Rome while actively having sex with him is hilarious. Because they're in the middle of doing the do, and now she's thinking in her head how, oh, I can't keep doing this. No. This cannot last a week. Because at chapter 3, we are in the beginning of the relaxation of the trip. Like, we are at the beginning of the week. I think it was like day 2, maybe day 2 of the trip. So she's in her head talking about how we can't do this again. No. Knew that wasn't going to last. Oh, what did I say? Sometimes you gotta put your hands on your sister. Pink ribbon. Oh, at their dinner table. Sometimes violence is the answer. And like, from what I know about Janelle, from reading this so far, she bites her tongue a lot to keep the peace. I also just realized that Amiri is Janelle's older sister, not the other way around. I thought Janelle was the oldest this whole time. No, it's the other way around. So sometimes, like I said, sometimes you gotta put your hands on your sister, because that was just ridiculous. And apparently it's like, I don't really understand being a bride. Like, I know you stressing all that, but like, y'all came up with this idea of coming a week early before the wedding so y'all can relax. It's like you purposely adding more stress for no reason. And what's the point? Oh, the next point I put, one, I don't know where chapter we in now, but Janelle, it was another rift between her and her sister. They were in the spa, and her sister said something. Her sister said to Danny, one of her other bridesmaids, like, oh, I should have made you my maid of honor, in front of her sister. So because of the agreement Janelle and Rome came up with, she texts Rome and was like, I need you. He said, I'm on my way. That's what you need in your, that's what I need in my life. I need you. I'm on my way. No questions asked. Just, I'm on my way. That's what I'm talking about. What was my next point? Christian, one of the groomsmen, he reminds me of Flex. I'm gonna put a picture here from 101, the Fledat man. He reminds me of Flex. And it don't help that this like, they're all from Baltimore, which is still which makes this book so funny to me, is that they're from Baltimore. So when I'm reading it, I am reading in a Baltimore accent in my head. Like, that makes it 10 times funnier. Danny and Micah seem like they might have a little something going on. We didn't get too much into it, so I'm trying to see what that's about. They briefly go over it, but like, not too much, because Micah said he really don't know what's going on. We don't know. I wonder if Janelle gonna peep it, because right now the only person that's peeped the Danny and Micah situation is Rome. So I wonder if he might bring it up to Janelle and be like, you peeped that Danny and Micah be making eyes at each other. But Micah has peeped Janelle and Rome. So he already like, what's going on over there? I see you staring at Janelle. He's saying this to Rome. I keep calling that man Jerome, but Rome. Maybe his full name is Jerome because his brother named Jalen. It would make sense for his name to be Jerome, but I don't be calling nobody Rome. But anyways, oh, this is just a random thought I had while reading. It says, I said, Mary feels like Janelle wants her man because she knows she wrong for marrying her sister X. Because why you got all this tension for? Like, your sister gave you the blessing anyway. She told you she didn't want Arnold no more. So like, why you still acting like this? And then next point, I said again, Rome be asking all the right, Rome be asking Janelle all the right questions. Because he straight up was like, what's going on with you and your sister? Because clearly it's something else. Janelle didn't really answer it because I don't think she knows. She thinks it's just a shift. Something happened, and I hope we get into that and figure out what happened, why her sister acting weird, because everybody is noticing it. Danny, Evie, everybody in the wedding party is noticing you acting weird to your little sister. I am funny, yo. I put, we love a man who pays attention to what you say. Rome planned a little yacht date for Janelle to where she could just read and be by the water because she just said it. So he just planned a little date, had Micah help him keep everybody busy, and took her on a yacht so she could read and relax and be by the water. Then he ended up reading with her. And then I was like, them reading together, my dream date, cute. If you know, you know. The next point I put was Janelle keeps mentioning that this is a temporary to convince herself, because she ain't convincing me, and she ain't convincing Rome either. She keep bringing up how this is temporary, how this is gonna stop at the end of this. She's only doing that to convince herself, but she ain't convinced me. She ain't convinced Rome. Nobody is believing this is temporary. Me or Rome ain't falling for that. She ain't about to gaslight me, cause you about to fall in love. Clearly, that is what's going on. Micah clocking Rome and Janelle T at the they had went out, the whole bridal party like went out to the club, and it was like a blackout club. I guess like they turned the lights off like for a couple of songs, something like it like it was like a whole thing, like a dark night or whatever. They wore glow sticks or something, and Micah peeped Rome staring at Janelle, but eventually that was eventually gonna happen. Somebody was gonna see it. I put Micah is kind of messy, very much is, because he is waiting for the mess like me. Because once Amiri and Arnold figure out what's going on with Janelle and Rome, it's going to be messy, and I feel like I am seated. I am waiting for that mess. He said, what'd he say? I'm gonna quote him. He said, well shit, let me get ready for the storm. Messy, but I'm here for it. Next point. Oh, I said Rome just like me. Sometimes you gotta cut family off if they ain't serving you. Sometimes you just gotta cut them off. Family, I don't know why people think that because they're your family, you got to keep on talking to them, or you got to keep trying to mend things. No, you don't. You just treat them like any other person. Just because y'all got the same mama or y'all got the same grandmama, blah, y'all, they your cousin, da 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 da, you still gotta be respectful. You still gotta respect me. And if you don't do that, you will get cut off. I'm not about to have nobody in my life that ain't respecting me. Period. That's it. I just want to say chapter 6, I haven't read past it yet, but it might just be my favorite chapter. The taking away her senses, I'm gonna just leave it at that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Overall thoughts so far that I have though, I like how long the chapters are. Like, she's really giving us details in the chapter. Like, once you get out of that chapter, we get from whatever Janelle's thinking, we going on to Rome and knowing exactly it ain't leaving much for like when we once we get back to Janelle, she got to piggyback off something. I like how she's getting all the thoughts out in one chapter. This is because of that, it's such an easy read. Reading this book in a Baltimore accent puts the icing on the cake. It adds to the experience, for real. This book reminds me of the Netflix movie Resort of Love with Christina Milian. It kind of gives off the same thing, like the whole brother, well, besides the sister marrying her ex, that didn't happen, but like the whole fall in love with somebody's brother, but she used to date the groom. Like, it's the same thing. If you've seen that movie, let me know. Let me know if it gives the same thing. If you read the book, let me know if that gives the same thing too. But I'm gonna get back to reading, and I'm gonna come back and let y'all know how my thoughts are progressing. All right, so I just got done reading chapters 7 to 10. It's quite late right now. I got my little reading light on my head because I decided to read until, let's see what time it is, till about 2 in the morning. So I'm gonna record this very quick. I'm gonna literally just go through my notes of chapter 7 through 10, and then tomorrow we're gonna reconvene at chapter 11. So to start off, I put Micah is the friend that everyone needs, because accidentally spilling the beans about Rome actually is the one who set up the sea turtles thing for everyone to Janelle. So now Janelle knows that Micah knows. That was a good little touch. Janelle is so hung up on this being the last night. Like, she just kept bringing it up, like in her thoughts, like, oh, this is so sad, this is the last night, all the families come tomorrow. Like, girl, please. Like, you are trying to convince yourself this is the last night. No, it is not. And Rome is not having, oh, it's the last night. Oh, I literally put in my notes, Janelle, don't piss me off talking about goodbye gift. Like, after you and Rome just sat there, did y'all little have a conversation talking about the outing, you give them the sea turtles, talking about, oh, I want to give you a goodbye gift. I would have the same reaction Rome had. Like, girl, what do you mean? I don't want the, he got up and left, as he should. He should have left. I literally put, Rome better let her know what he wants, because she is playing. She is really set on this just a week. But I feel like Rome really need to be clear. Because now he's saying he want to just do it. He wanted to do it for the whole 2 weeks to begin with. He did propose 2 weeks in the beginning. He said the whole time. But like, you don't even want that. Like, you actually want to be with her forever. Okay? Like, propose that, even though she a little scary. I can't talk, but she a little scary. This not about me. So, ooh, my bag just fell. So chapter 8, when we get into chapter 8 starts off the official wedding week. All the guests to the wedding are arriving, and then they have all these activities that Mary and Arnold set up. I'm pretty sure if I was them, I would be tired of activities. Like, what? Oh, the truth finally comes out. Mary is, I wouldn't say, it's not jealousy, but she is cautious of her sister Janelle, because she know that Arnold and Janelle's relationship was like it was like a true relationship. Like, they really had feelings for each other, but they just weren't meant to be for each other. And I feel like Mary knows that her sister and her fiance's relationship was deeper than what they try to put out to be or whatever. So she don't want them together. Like, this whole thing of looking for the ring and like yelling at everybody. I'm glad Rome and Danny said something, because at first I was like, Danny, stop trying to, like, they was trying to be like, oh, she the bride, give her, no, she's doing this on purpose, like purposely. Like, she knew she lost, she purposely put her ring behind the bed and then woke everybody up at the crack of dawn. Me personally would have cussed her out. Don't be messing up my sleep because you want to play games. Makes no sense. I also put, Arnold needs to say something to Mary, because at this point it's getting ridiculous. The lashings is getting ridiculous because Janelle didn't do nothing to neither one of y'all. Granted, technically y'all did something to her, because you out here dating her sister, her older sister. So like, and then as the older sister, you out here dating your youngest sister ex-boyfriend, and now y'all about to get married. So like, it's almost like y'all projecting because y'all know y'all wrong, so y'all trying to put it on Janelle. No, don't like that. The families are coming. So Jalen, who is he's Rome's brother, Jalen has come, and the parents of Janelle and Amiri, their parents have arrived. And I guess Jalen plays, well, he used to play for, because he retired or whatever, but he used to play for the Washington Blaze. And I literally put in my notes, being a girl from the DMV, the Washington Blaze cannot be the Washington Wizards, because 4 championships where? Well, yeah, girl, that is they need to stop that. Don't give them that, none of that. I also put, not Jalen clocking Janelle and Rome tea at the first meeting. Like, as soon as Janelle get out the car, he like, oh, this your future wife? He clocking the tea right away, because y'all, they're giving it all off. They both, at this point, both of y'all staring at each other. Oh, my camera about to die, let me hurry up. I put Rome stand up, because he is just down bad for Janelle right now. Janelle just might get pregnant. That's another thing, because that might be the plot twist. Is that the plot twist, that she pregnant and she gonna have to tell everybody she like Rome? I put Janelle just needs to speak up to her mom and Amiri and just let them know she isn't interested in Arnold, because I feel like that's where the mom's concern at, is that she think that Janelle is still interested in Arnold, but like Janelle would really don't want that man. And they keep trying to set her up, well, Amiri keep trying to set her up with people at the party. Like, girl, she don't want them because she want Rome. If she just say she want Rome, all her problems will be gone, because they will be like, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about her wanting Arnold because she got Rome, and she won't have to keep trying to set her up with Troy, Cortez, Bob, Mikey, Ricky, Mike. Like, she won't be getting set up no more. So she just tell them that she don't want that man and she want this man instead. All the problems will be gone. But yeah, let me go to bed, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. So I'm in a different setting today. I'm in my car. I decided to go and read outside today. It's a really nice day today. It was better earlier because I left out earlier this morning, but now it's in the 90s. So I'm gonna get y'all this last part of this book. So the most recent chapters I read were chapters 11 through 14, and technically that's the end of the book. If you don't read the epilogue, then this would have been the end of the book. Me being nosy, I'm going to go read the epilogue after this. It's just too hot outside for me now. But let's get into these last few chapters. In the beginning of chapter 11, Janelle is confronting her mama. I feel like she definitely should have confronted her sister before the mama, but I understand she's confronting her mom first because of the whole conversation she had with her mom outside of her room where she saw Rome. at least part of that conversation, at least it sounded like the mom was hearing her out, but the real issue started to come out because the mom said that she was upset that Janelle never needed her. I feel like that's kind of crazy to say, that you was upset that your daughter didn't need you, and then you just knew because your daughter's ex was marrying your other daughter. You just knew she was gonna need you, she still didn't, so you try to gaslight her to need you. Like, that is crazy. Like, that is ridiculous, to gaslight your child because you wanted her to lean on you more. But she really didn't have, the thing is, she really didn't have nothing to lean on you for, because she said she was over that man. But you didn't want to believe her. You wanted her to come crawling to you. And which I understand, Janelle, like, you pretty much made me out to be some hoe because you wanted me to need you. Crazy. Mind you, I think we're still forgetting that Amiri married Janelle's ex-man. Like, I feel like we're missing a good part to the plot, like, here. Like, how is Janelle the problem, and y'all is being mean to her because she don't want this man no more? Make it make sense. But they say this situation convinced the mom that Janelle finally needed her. Oh yeah, that's the part I was just talking about. I'm glad that Janelle wasn't buying what her mama was selling, because she was not trying to hear that excuse. Because I honestly think the mom thought when she said that Janelle was gonna be like, oh, okay, no, that made absolutely no sense. So Janelle pretty much gets up and leave that conversation. She didn't even eat nothing, got up and leave. She texts Rome, tell him about the situation, how she didn't get to eat nothing. And that's what I'm saying, it's the small things. Rome then sends like room service to her room with like some food for her to eat and some self-care stuff, because she was like, I'm gonna just stay in the room until it's time to go out later tonight. See, Rome be listening. That's what we need. All right, after that, what happened after that? Oh, they say Arnold being the one to spill the beans is messy. Oh yes, so Arnold got drunk and came to Janelle's room and told her, you know, your sister is jealous of you, pretty much. So like, Arnold being the one to tell the truth is very messy, and the way that he did it. And then he goes on to say, I chose the wrong sister, messy, and tried to kiss Janelle, and she had to slap the shit out of him. This was a good read. I was flipping these pages like, ooh, ooh, ooh. But yeah, she had to give it to Arnold, because like, I feel like everybody is playing on Janelle top. Like, what is going on? Like, y'all really think she want this man? Then this is why I said all her problems would just go away if she just be like, oh no, I want Rome. Like, that's all she gotta say. They will leave her alone. And then I said, like I said before, Rome and Arnold may not be friends at the end of this book. By the time I got to the end of the book, they still friends. Men are so weird to me, how they're able to forgive and forget so quickly. Because let me just get back into the next thing. The boys get into a bar fight because Arnold's cousin is disrespecting all the ladies on the bridal party. So Rome being Rome, Cortez is his name. Cortez said something disrespectful. Well, he said something disrespectful about all the girls, but he especially said something real disrespectful about Janelle, and Rome punched him in the face. His brother followed suit, because apparently Cortez brought an entourage to the club. Who does that? It's not your wedding. But they got into a bar fight, and oh, let me back up. Janelle tried to tell Amiri what happened with Arnold, that he tried to kiss her and she slapped him, and Amiri was like, oh no, you lying, you lying, like that didn't happen. So Janelle was very much willing to not speak to her sister after that. But then that's when Danny come in. We find out that the boys got into a bar fight. Now we're gonna go, this is how we get to the bar fight. So they go pick up the guys, but Christian, Micah, Rome, Jalen, I don't even know if Arnold was even fighting because he was too drunk, but they all fighting pretty much. Rome done put Cortez in the hospital, so they end up in jail, and the girls had to go get them from jail. So after all of that fiasco, everybody go back, you know, to their rooms. Rome and Janelle's debriefing him. She's getting ready. She is literally getting ready to tell Rome that Arnold tried to kiss her, and they get like this text message saying that, oh, Arnold and Amiri trying to have a family meeting or whatever. The family meeting was nothing. They didn't say they was going in the wedding. Because that's where I thought we was going. The wedding was finna be over. They did not say that. They just tell everybody that Cortez is in the hospital. He ain't pressing charges, so Rome don't need to be worried. Rome wasn't worried, didn't care. Everybody leave. Rome, actually, Cortez's father was just like, you know, it was bound to happen, which I think that is crazy to say. You get beat up in the bar, and your father like, I'm actually not surprised it happened. But all that happened. Everybody leaves the family meeting. Rome and Rome and Janelle think everybody's gone. They're doing their whole secretive thing, and Amiri catches them kissing. She's upset because like we already know, because Arnold told us, she is jealous. She feel like her sister get everything too easy to her, whatever, which I don't understand how that's a problem. If I'm getting stuff easy, you should be happy for me, not mad. But it comes out that Arnold tried to kiss Janelle, so now Rome mad at Arnold. And that's what I mean, men getting over stuff too fast. But Janelle has already blown up on her sister, and they said that she already said she not coming to the wedding. So Amiri is trying to explain now. Apparently something is going on with her business, and I'm just like, no matter what you got going on in your personal life, don't mean that you could just start treating me crazy. So I'm actually glad that Janelle stuck to, no, I'm still not coming, even though technically she didn't, because at the end she ended up showing up at the wedding. Me personally, I wouldn't have been at that wedding, and that's unfortunate for whoever that person is in my life. I would have never been at that wedding. But her whole reasoning for showing up to the wedding is because just in case they get back on good terms, she don't want to be the only one that missed out on the wedding. And I get that. Rome was still there because him and Arnold had a whole conversation and literally got over it, and like it's not even a whole page, it was like a paragraph. They got over it that quick. So I'm just like, men. But overall, the book so far has been good. I'm a little too nosy for this quick burn. Like, I need more details. Like, just like I feel like the conversation with Amiri was just so fast. Like, I needed them to like really get into the issues, because just telling me your business is going over and you can't afford X, Y, Z, now your man got to pay for everything, that's not an excuse to be treating me like shit. Like, what? But I think chapter 14 was a good one, because that was like pretty much, it was bringing everything back together and everything. So I'm gonna read the epilogue, and then apparently it's the epilogue and then it's a beyond epilogue, and that gets like 6 more chapters. So I'm gonna just read all that. So the next part will be the end, me finishing everything. But so far it's a good book. It's a little shorter than the other books I've read, because I told you I'd be reading slow burns, but I feel like it did what it was supposed to do. Like, I did enjoy it. The characters, I just feel like we could have went a little bit more deeper. I'm nosy. I need all the bits and pieces, not just here. Unless she planned on making more books, I need some more. But yeah, so I'm gonna get into this epilogue. See y'all in the next one. All right, we have finally completed the book, including the epilogue. So I'm gonna go over well, technically it was the epilogue, behind the epilogue, and beyond the epilogue. But at this part, we're going to talk about the first epilogue. and what my reaction was to that. So I got my notes like always, and we will go through. So the epilogue starts off as 1 year later, and I'm like, dang, 1 year later is a jump for the epilogue. Especially so since where we left off at the last chapter, which was like chapter 14. So Janelle is catching us up, pretty much letting us know that the mom is back, went back to her old ways. So they really ain't even talking that much. Her and the sister, they're not talking as much either, but they are like making steps to like getting their relationship back. Like they're like going to therapy and everything together. Like she's done a few therapy sessions with her sister. Janelle has moved in with Rome. And like she's like, Rome and Arnold are still friends. Like he even goes to the game nights. Janelle was very distant, not really entertaining none of that. And then at the end, Rome and Janelle are talking to Jalen and Cam, and Cam kind of like spilled the beans, like, "Ooh, did you do it yet?" And everybody's like, "Do what?" And then Jalen tried to get off the phone really quick. So I'm assuming this is where I was like, "Oh, he about to propose," and he proposed. He proposed using like a little dating sim. I think that's what he called it, like a dating sim game. So he like made a whole game that showed their whole relationship from beginning to end. Real cute. The proposal was cute. I was like, okay. And then doing all that, Jalen finally get his speech, because he said since he met them, oh, I'm gonna put this in my speech, I'm gonna put that in my speech. So he finally get his speech. But that's how the epilogue ended, and I was highly upset until I realized we had behind the epilogue. I told y'all I am very nosy, so the quick pace is good, because like, okay, you getting me what I need quickly, but the slow burns is where the details are at. I need more details. That's all. I just like to be nosy. So behind the epilogue, behind the epilogue had 4 chapters, so it was chapters 1 through 4, and they pretty much got deeper into what we just read in the epilogue. So like they kind of gave us details of each little thing that we read. So when I first started reading, it said 3 months after the wedding, so I'm assuming that they meant 3 months after Janelle and Rome's wedding, because in the epilogue they really just proposed to each other. So I'm like, 3 months after the wedding, that's crazy. But no, they're talking about 3 months after Amiri and Arnold's wedding. So 3 months after that wedding, they're pretty much, Janelle was pretty much, we're talking about Janelle again. Janelle was pretty much telling us about her day to day, her and her dad going to little daddy-daughter date. Real cute, because she is not talking to her mother. Apparently her mother went on this whole little, I won't even call it rant, but she is not speaking with her mom. The going backwards kind of threw me off, but it made sense once I kept going. Like, she's literally giving us details. So like, we even get to like, she went to a therapy session with Amiri. She kind of zoned out because like she's still not there yet with her sister, but like she's saying that she wants to get there and all that, but she is absolutely not there with her mother. But she is talking to her dad, and her dad even like apologized during their day and was like, I felt like I should have did more. I was trying to let y'all figure it out. And I was like, good man. So since it went backwards, Janelle and Rome aren't living together anymore, even though that's what I just read in the epilogue. But they're not living together anymore. So like, he's coming to visit. So like, his little pop-up, he did like a little pop-up on her because he was out in California and she was working long hours, and they kept trying to like pushing their date night back. So he popped up on her, did like a cute little at-home picnic date night in a living room. Very cute. We find out that Rome's mom and brother are the cookers, and that they had cooked whatever food that he act like he was making for Janelle for their little date. We also find out that Janelle is very close with his mother. Because it skipped, because I think the behind the epilogue is, so it starts off 3 months after the wedding. The next chapter goes 4 months after the wedding. The next one was like 6 months after the wedding. So then like we get into them finally moving in together at the 6-month chapter. That's why I'm at now, because that's when they started talking about Janelle hanging out with the mom, and like the mom trying to do a book club with Janelle, but Janelle was like, me and Rome got a book club. It's very, very cute. But she also mentions how she kind of wishes she had the relationship she has with Rome's mom, with her own mom, but they not there yet at all. But and then like I think the next chapter is like 11 months. It hops like that. But they go to like I'm gonna call it Comic-Con, but I think she called it something different in the book. I think it was like Blurb Con or something like that, but it's Comic-Con. And it's funny that Evie, that she ran into, she's texting Evie about like what she's doing and everything she's got going on, because Evie is her friend that's in the anime and all that stuff. So she's letting her know. And Evie had got Janelle into the anime, so they went to like some family feud thing at the Blurb Con, and she's like texting Evie like, oh, this is how many questions I got right. And then as soon as they walk out, Janelle and Rome run into Evie, and then they run into Evie by herself, and then Jalen and Cam, which is Jalen's son, pop up. So I knew Evie and Jalen had something. I wonder if that's gonna be part of the books too. But the way this book is, I feel like we need to continue. If I think her next book should still be about Janelle and Rome, because there is still some parts of the story left out. Like, we'll get into that because we didn't even get to beyond the epilogue yet. But Evie and Jalen knew that was eventually going to happen, but I don't know, because like, did it really happen? Because like Evie is very hush hush about it. But oh, labor of love, I could get into that in the next part because they talk more about it. But she's still working on labor of love. She got the building because she finds out that Rome was the owner of the building. So of course she got the building. They had to negotiate, because she was like, I'm going to pay you back, because he was like, no. But they came up with her being able to pay him back. So she got the building. I was doing renovations and all that, but she's still working at her practice, and she's looking for an assistant and all that. But and so at the end of behind the epilogue, they like describe the engagement ring that Rome had made for her, in which he had Danny help him make for Janelle. It sounds so cute. Like I actually need to see what that looked like. Like, it sounds so cute. But yeah, that was pretty much it for behind the epilogue. Now we're going to get into beyond the epilogue. That was chapters 5 and 6. Okay, now we're at beyond the epilogue, and that is another jump. But that's chapters 5 and 6, but that's another jump. And we jump 5 months after the proposal. That's why I'm like, the next book gotta be about Janelle and Rome still. We can't jump into another friendship, but I digress. But so labor of love is finally open. She did her not her original plan, but her plan from Tulum, where she had all the other doctors, like mental health, birthing, all that, all in one place. So everything, she got the board of doctors and everything set up. She got her assistant and office manager, which is Tamara. That's why I brung up the whole, I don't know, because Tamara keep telling Rome that she was trying to get put on with his brother. But so I don't know if that's still a thing, but hopefully we'll figure that out in the next book. Rome surprises Janelle with a return trip back to Tulum, so they can experience the week how they were supposed to experience it the first time, which I thought was cute. And Javier, of course, was there to greet them. The butler they had, he got promoted, but he was there. So my theory did come. My theory was right. So I knew I wasn't crazy. But Rome and Arnold aren't as close as they used to be anymore. So I was technically right. The relationship ain't the same. Rome said that it's just a little weird because they clearly have grown in different ways and don't see things how they used to see it anymore. They're friends, they're just not as close as they used to. Like, they don't talk as often as they used to. But he is still close with Christian, Micah, and of course his brother. But their relationship is just not the same. Janelle also feels a little, she feels like it's her fault, but Roman's like, it's not your fault. He definitely just thinks they grew apart. Because he don't like some of the decisions that Arnold be making. So I technically was right. The friendship is not where it's supposed to be. And because they're also talking about planning, like they started planning their wedding. So Janelle brings with the conversation like, is Arnold gonna be in the wedding? And Rome was like, honestly, no, because he already said that Jalen is his best man, and of course Christian and Micah is gonna be in his wedding party. Because Janelle was also, she asked that question because she want to know if it's weird that she don't want her sister in the wedding, because she has Evie as her maid of honor, and then she wants Danny in the wedding. So they just had that conversation like, is it weird that I don't want my sister in the wedding? And I'm just like, no girl, like sometimes you just gotta cut people off. And like, she was like, she showed up to Amiri's wedding because she just thought hopefully they will be in a better place by now. And now it's like over a year later, and they're not in a, like, it's not where what she hoped it would be for her sister to be in her wedding. So I'm with Rome. Like, you do no, it's your wedding day. You are not supposed to be stressing your wedding day. So no, you do not have to have her in the wedding. And he already said he don't plan on having Arnold in the wedding, but he is invited. Like, they're still friends. Their relationship is just not the same, which I don't know how that's going to turn out, but hopefully the next book is a continuing of this story. That's all I'm saying. They're also talking about like buying a house because Rome wants them to have their home before they get married. And they have also technically right again, because I said in the beginning, I said, oh, Janelle gonna be pregnant by the end of this book. They had a pregnancy scare. She wasn't pregnant, but it was a scare. So technically I was correct. And that was literally the end. And it says the end again. I actually really enjoyed the book, even though it was a faster pace than what I'm used to, and I feel like I still got a lot more questions, and like I'm just nosy. I'm just hoping that the next book, let me see, I forgot what the name of it, The Art of Loving You. I looked it up. It's supposed to come out in April of next year. So I'll be getting that, but I hope it's still about Janelle and Rome. Maybe I should look it up, see if I could get a little blurb of it. But the pace was faster than what I'm used to, but I really enjoyed it. I would give this book like a 7 out of 10 for sure. The spice though, I would give the spice a 10 out of 10. I was like, yeah, she was with the spice. But overall, I really enjoyed the book. I actually really enjoy her writing as well, like how she writes. And like, my mom has started to read the audiobook, and even hearing the audio, I'm like, the way that the person was reading it kind of like how I was reading it in my head. I just wish the person who read the audiobook had a Baltimore accent, because they are from Baltimore. Like, I need y'all to bring the accent out. But I really enjoyed it. If you read the book, if you plan on reading the book, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts were on the book. What's your favorite part? I think chapter 6 was my favorite chapter. I'm not gonna get into why, but if you read it, you know, you know. But like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. And follow my social medias. They're all Yeah That's Ty. And I'll see you in the next video. Alright, so I looked up the blurb that I just said I was gonna look up, and I forgot to mention. But I don't think the next book, I don't think the Art of Loving You is gonna be about Janelle and Rome, and I don't like that. But it say it's a second chance romance, and why would Janelle and Rome need a second chance? But I'm gonna get the book. I'm gonna get the book anyway. But I just wanted to insert that.